Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Nightmare random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, on a random map, and try to beat Nightmare mode with it. Hope you're all doing well. Let's see what we have today. So, we have the Renegade. Renegade, of course, is a powerful character, but there's definitely some weapons that are really challenging on Nightmare for this character, because they just don't do enough damage. So, let's roll and see what we've got, and we have Laser Gun. This, I think, is one of the toughest weapons for the Renegade, just because it attacks so slowly, that actually trying to clear the enemies with it can be pretty challenging. Now, it does do, obviously, very good damage, but the high base damage is reduced in value somewhat because this character starts with really low percent damage, and you need to fix your percent damage before it does anything. I'm going to take 5% attack speed here on the laser gun. Attack speed is by far the most important stat, and then we'll buy a laser gun. We're going to buy basically every level 1 item that we don't have a copy of for the Renegade's passive. But let's roll here. Do I want the sharp bullet? We have naturally 2 piercing, because the Renegade gives you 1 extra pierce, so I don't think we're going to want sharp bullet. But I will leave it in the pool. I'll buy a laser gun here, and then I will roll, lock another one. Nothing else that we want to lock, so let's move to the next wave. If we can make it out of the early game, I think this is going to be somewhat similar to the streamer run with laser guns, in that if we can make it out of the early game and just get a bunch of attack speed, we should be in okay shape. Though I am worried about just the number of projectiles that we're firing on Crash Zone, because this is Wave 16 Crash Zone with the enhanced flies, can be very dangerous. We'll take the Penguin here, that gives me some good percent damage, and then I'm going to take a ranged damage. I would prefer attack speed, but I'll take either. Buy the laser gun, lock the coupon, and then roll. Buy a laser gun, and roll again, and we'll lock another laser gun, and Broken Mouth is worth locking. It gives me percent damage, and of course it's just a good item. So we are going to get to our 6 weapons, which is great, but we will obviously badly need attack speed. And I really need to increase my weapon damage as well, so that we can one-shot the flies later on, even though we're splitting our damage across 3 projectiles as the Renegade. And it's just so important that we clear those without generating too many projectile attacks. Fertilizer, an amazing find, of course. And then, while I do want more harvesting, I'm actually going to roll looking for damage stats. Do I want the crit chance? I guess it's a level 2 upgrade. I would prefer range damage or attack speed, but we'll take the higher level upgrade. And then here, I'm going to roll again. 5 is such an expensive reroll. A little unlucky there. I'll just take the harvesting. Then I'll buy coupon and laser gun. And I'll roll, looking for another gun. Roll again. And I will lock bag. That's obviously good enough to lock. Do I want to lock the plant? Lifesteal is better on the Renegade because of the extra projectiles and piercing, but worse on Laser Gun because of its very slow attack speed. So I think we will want to build both, and we're going to end up with a bunch of, random level 1 items. I don't think the plant is worth locking, but we would certainly buy it later on. I'm saving my bans for, we can either ban copies of level 1 items that we don't really want but bought for the Renegade passive and, already have one. Or I can ban level 2 items, just because we want to buy basically every level 1 item in the game. So I haven't decided yet how we're going to play that with the bans, but I'm saving my bans until we need to make a decision there. Left a lot of materials on the ground, not much I could do about that. I will take the Schmoop. It does really hurt to lose a ranged damage, but the defensive stats there are so important. I'm going to roll here, and we'll take 10 attack speed. Incredible. Exactly what we needed. We'll buy these items, and I'll take the Lost Duck. It's an economy item. Still holding on the Broken Mouth, but we'll roll again here. And re-roll one more time, and one more time I'm looking for more laser guns. I'll take the laser gun, and we'll lock the Insanity. crit chance is a way that we can buy damage on this character that doesn't involve buying percent damage. And, of course, it also gives us more percent damage than it costs us because of the way that the Renegade's passive works. So, an Insanity that we don't have yet is one of the best items we could look for. Which, you know, that is what they say about neuroses. You gotta collect them all. I'm gonna take 2 armor here, and then 10% more attack speed. And then we'll pick up the laser gun, buy all of these things, and roll. Decomposing flesh is a lot of healing, so I think it is worth buying. The boiling water, I do want a copy of eventually, but I think I'm going to reroll looking for more laser guns first. And we'll lock the gun, we'll lock the whistle. Injection is worth buying as well. It's plus 2% damage, and then a little bit more. We reduce our damage by 80%, but we still get, what's that, 1 and a bit damage from the injection, so we get 3%. And that's a very important amount of damage for the Renegade. When you have highly negative damage, buying percent damage is more impactful than normal, and so even these tiny amounts from buying just random items that otherwise are useless to us are very important, and you do have to buy them on this character. Alright. This wave is kind of tough, but we're doing all right. The piercing shots are helpful because I let a few of the big slashers spawn, but we were still able to clear a lot of the wave. And we were able to clear the summons more or less as they spawn, so I'm pretty happy about that. I'm just going to recycle the Wandering Bot. I could take it. For 25, I guess it's okay to take it. And then here I'm going to take 10 luck, and then we'll buy a laser gun, we'll buy whistle and injection. Ice cube I'm just going to ban, we'll take a free reroll. Maybe I end up with some elemental damage later on, but we're not going to just speculate on that completely, and no reason to buy an item that doesn't do very much right now. Coupon, even though we have one, we'll buy. Same with the Insanity. Weird Ghost on wave 7, pretty dangerous. I have very weak healing, but I do think I have to buy it because it's, again, an item I don't have a copy of. We'll buy the Butterfly here and then reroll. Do I want the sunglasses? I do need more damage. I'll take the Boxing Glove as well, because knockback is actually kind of interesting when we're firing this many projectiles. I think I'll pass on the sunglasses for now. So this wave, I'm really looking to clear the eggs so that I can get some healing, because until I heal up to about 3/4 of my health, I'm feeling in a lot of danger. We do have good luck, and we did pick up some consumable healing, so if I actually ever drop a consumable, which is more likely, though we've gotten kind of unlucky on it, that should be worth a lot of health. All right, we got one, and now we're in okay shape. That was a more frightening Weird Ghost than I was expecting, because we got really unlucky on consumable drops for the first, like, 2/3 of the wave there. Enhanced Spitters are so deadly. You have to be so careful of those. Starfish, so dangerous on Nightmare mode. But getting it this early is worth a ton of money, so I think I will pick it up. And then I'm going to take the 6 HP. Buy these 2 items. Nail, we can't really buy. We lose range damage, so it's really bad. Sharp Bullet costs me a bunch of piercing damage. So it reduces the damage of my piercing shots by quite a bit. We do get extra pierce from it, and we get extra percent damage. And then I could ban Nail and get a reroll. I still think it's not worth buying yet, because we don't have a pumpkin or anything. But we might buy it later, so I will leave it in the pool. I'll skip the boiling water for now. I feel like there's better stuff. I can't, unfortunately, even though it's a level 1 item we don't have a copy of, I can't buy Peaceful Bee, so I will ban that. And I'm gonna roll again. Okay, we finally found more laser guns. That's what I've been looking for. Really need to level our weapons. The number one item for us is probably coffee. I mean, obviously there's, you know, high-level items that would be better, but of the items that we're just sort of realistically hoping for, coffee is one of the very top ones. Probably the single best item that I could find would be crystal, because the amount of attack speed you get from that is really, really high for a character like this. All right, I am kind of surrounded by high health enemies there, so I wasn't able to focus on the loot alien, and then it changed direction at the last second. I was kind of setting up to be able to kill it, but unfortunately, because of the way it went, I couldn't do that. And recycle the blood donation. We don't have the healing to support it, unfortunately, but we'll take 15 attack speed here. And then I'm going to reroll this, and we'll take 15 luck. I will level my weapons, and then we'll ban Barricade and get a reroll. Lock a laser gun. Bowler hat, normally I would buy, but we have the Starfish, so we're kind of set for economy. We have good harvesting, we have high luck, and we have a Starfish. I just need to kill enemies, so I'm going to focus on doing that. I don't really want to get Curse, because we're on Crash Zone. I already have a Decomposing Flesh. I think I'm going to just leave both of these in the pool and go to Wave 9 here. Wave 9 I'm quite worried about. I should not have killed both of those summoners at once. See if I can snipe only one at a time here, and then we can kill the summoners as they spawn. Actually, the Wandering Bot is kind of nice for the summons, making it so that I can keep those in one place, or at least slow down some of them as they spawn, and then we get a chance to kill them before they run away. So that's actually an interesting application for the item I hadn't really seen before, but it's kind of nice that it works that way. The Renegade's extra Pierce really coming in handy this wave. Alright, we'll kill the loot alien, and we got 2 crates and 700 materials that wave. Amazing. We'll take the lens, we'll take the book, that's all great. I'm going to reroll this, and I guess I'll take 5 crit chance, and then we'll take 15 more luck. Getting a lot of luck in this run. We will upgrade our laser guns. They do get faster firing as you level them, which is awesome. I don't really want the snail when I have negative movement speed. I'm just going to reroll here, and reroll again. I'll take a Scar, that's great. Cyclops Worm is a very expensive way to buy a little bit of percent damage, but we still should buy it on this character. Goblet, I think, is worth buying, and we'll ban Will-O-Wisp. We don't have a use for elemental damage. I will pick up the laser gun. I think I will. I should have maybe bought the snail earlier if I was going to buy it here, but I think I will buy it. Excuse me. And then I'm going to roll. We'll definitely take the banner. And I already have a butterfly. I'll buy the snake. It does cost me an HP, but the percent damage is more important. I'm going to buy the butterfly even though we have one, because I do want more lifesteal. Banner, another excellent item for us. The range is fine, and the attack speed is super important. Now, it will turn off my knockback, which I did build some of, but I'm not that concerned about that. We really just want enough damage to clear everything, so attack speed. And, of course, flat damage and percent damage are the stats that we're by far the most interested in. Definitely need some armor. Right now, if I take a hit, it's going to be for a lot of damage. Yeah, 16 just from the environmental projectile, so we are in a lot of trouble if I start taking hits from the more dangerous enemies. And you can see that my attack speed is low enough that we're not keeping up with the wave clear that we need at this point. Left 200 materials on the ground there as well. I'm going to have to recycle stone skin. Losing a range damage is so painful, but I do think I still need to buy the Schmoop. I'll take the Clockwork Wasp because I need move speed, and then I'm going to roll. We'll take 2 armor here. And then I have 0 ranged damage, but I still think I need attack speed first. I will buy these items, and we'll just ban the Little Frog for a reroll. We're not that interested in the Little Frog. Rough items to buy for percent damage here, the Defective Steroids and the Goat Skull, but we're playing the Renegade, so you just gotta do what you gotta do. We'll buy the Poisonous Tonic and buy Laser Gun. I'm actually gonna mirror the Poisonous Tonic. Losing the regen, of course, is a little painful, but this is a very powerful item. We save some money on a second copy of it, and it's exactly what we're looking for as well. 15 with 2 items locked. I don't want to reroll here. I need to be pretty careful to pick up materials this wave, because we left so many on the ground last wave. And, oops, walking into that attack was kind of funny, and that one as well. Taking a lot of damage from the enhanced spitters, of course. They just do a ridiculous amount of damage, and our health is okay, but our armor's very low. So that type of high damage enemy is really dangerous for us. Run into the middle here and pick up at least some of these doubled materials. So we don't leave too many on the ground this wave. And then we'll take 2 armor. All right, we're up to 9 armor. That's okay. We will mirror the Poisonous Tonic. And I could lose an armor and buy some crit chance. I really need just more attack speed going into this wave, though. We'll take the Bat. Cyclops Worm is probably worth buying as well. And then I will roll, and we'll buy a Loot Worm. Tardigrade is interesting, but I don't think we're interested in that. And we'll take some range damage and, of course, the head injury as well. All right, I'm unhappy with the fact that we have 0 ranged damage going into this wave, but otherwise I think we're doing okay. We've got all right defensive stats. We did just boost our attack speed by quite a bit by mirroring the Poisonous Tonic. I need to move to the top right, or at least the top of the map, so that I am, when I have to corner camp, which we will for the end of this wave, we're not corner camping where the projectiles are spawning from. Make a run for picking up at least some of the materials, so we're not leaving infinite on the ground, and we should be able to jump back into the corner if I need to, though. So far, we've actually had the attack speed to clear the wave as it spawns, even though I'm not in the corner, which is great, because it meant that I got to keep a bunch of... I got to actually pick up a bunch of materials. Unfortunately, we weren't able to kill that loot alien, I don't think. I'll recycle the Tyler here. I'll take the Blood Leech. We just want more healing. We'll take 2 armor, and then 10 attack speed. Up to 90% attack speed, which is great. We'll buy these items, finally at positive ranged damage again. The Ghost outfit we're uninterested in. We have negative dodge, so we can't do anything with that. We'll roll past all this. Do I want the Goldfish? I think I can try the Goldfish. We have a lot of money, so I should be able to buy most stuff that shows up here. Ricochet is interesting for this character, but I think we do want it, and we'll pick up the Potato as well. And then I'm going to re-roll here. And we'll buy the Duct Tape. I don't need a second Wandering Bot, but we're up to minus 29% damage because I bought the Ricochet, but the extra bouncing shots, I think, will help us keep the wave clear. It does hurt against elites to have lowered my damage like that in a way that doesn't really increase my damage output. Or my... That doesn't do anything for elite, because we lowered our percent damage, and against other enemies, the bouncing shots are going to help clear the wave more easily, but against elites, they won't. Now, this is a weapon with a lot of pierce, and we've made our pierce worse by buying the bouncing shot. But bouncing shots are perfectly accurate, and so I think are going to be more useful, especially for clearing, like, the eggs and the summons as they spawn, stuff like that. It will, again, make the enhanced flies on wave 16 really difficult, but hopefully we get enough damage that we can just one-tap those as they spawn. We just need to get to that point. We'll take the claw tree here. I'll take another wandering bot when it shows up for cheap, and then we'll take 2 armor. We'll buy the potato. I'll buy a rat, I guess. Pretty unhappy about buying that for that much money, but we need all the percent damage we can get, as always. And then we will re-roll. We're actually getting close to getting our laser guns below the ball and chain minimum. Yeah, 0.84. So I don't think I actually want the ball and chain here. I'll take the alien magic, and I'll take the wings. And then I'm going to roll one more time and lock a laser gun, and we'll lock a wheat, because I do, of course, need more ranged damage. One reason I'm okay with the Ricochet, even though it makes elites a little harder, is that we're using laser guns. We should be good against elites anyways. This is a weapon that's designed for killing high health, single target enemies like elites. So even though we kind of lowered our damage and made that fight a little bit more difficult, it was naturally going to be very easy. And as you can see, this is wave 14 with all the summons, but we're just clearing them as soon as they spawn because of the bouncing shots. So I'm pretty happy with how the Ricochet has worked out so far. Like, there's another spot where we cleared a bunch of extra summons that we wouldn't have killed. All right, try to kill that. Nice, I did get it right before the end. We have no dodge currently. I wish I could take Retromation's hoodie here, but unfortunately I have to recycle it. I will take the leather vest, and now we do have dodge, but losing 80 range is a real penalty, so taking the hoodie there on pure spec, I don't think is worth doing. I actually have 17 armor, so I kind of need to roll for attack speed or ranged damage going into wave 16 here. So I'm going to roll, and we're looking for ranged damage if possible, but I'll take 15 attack speed as well. I'll buy all of this stuff, and then we'll re-roll. We'll definitely take the mutation. We'll take the alien worm. I have +2 consumable healing, but again, we just need to buy more percent damage. Wisdom, we're going to pass on. It's just so expensive, and with this character's percent damage reductions, doesn't really do anything for us. But basically, I just want to boost my flat damage before I fight the flies next wave to minimize the number of projectiles we'll be facing. Which is why I would have preferred to get damage over attack speed last wave, but we still just need as much clear speed as we can get. And with 17 armor, obviously armor's always good. You could certainly have taken +3 armor on that level up. It would never be wrong to do that, but in this spot, I judged that we needed the damage more. Because specifically, I'm very concerned about next wave. One thing that's very important in this game, of course, is always to identify what the challenge is for your character. Where are you worried about losing? And how will it... what will it look like if you do lose? And so then you can arrange to do stuff in such a way as to minimize that possibility. I'll take the penguin here. I'll take the coupon. We do have more of those. Crit chance is actually very good for stopping the flies from getting off a lot of projectile shots. I don't need another boxing glove. I'm going to roll here. Frozen Heart, is that any good? It does increase the base damage of our weapons, but we have -6 elemental damage. On the other hand, community support is great. We'll take the charcoal here, and we'll roll past the Frozen Heart. I'll take the beanie, and then we're going into wave 16. I'd have loved more ranged damage, but at least I got to buy the mutation. So we only have 6 ranged damage. We haven't seen a, like a small magazine would have been the best item for us, obviously. But the community support should help, at least, in terms of being worth a lot of attack speed. So the beginning of this wave, obviously not a problem. It's once the enhanced flies start spawning. I need to make sure I'm clearing all of them as soon as they spawn, right at the beginning of the wave. Because at the end of the wave, you get a huge spawn wave of them at once. And if you've left any alive up to that point, there's just going to be so many things you have to dodge. So like here, for example, you can see we're getting a big wave of enhanced flies. So I'm trying to navigate around them. Do that by making very small movements. And if necessary, you can run to the corner. I should have run to the top right corner instead of, or to a top corner instead of the bottom corner, because that's where the shots were coming from. Do I want the statue? This is a character that can really benefit from bonus attack speed. And we don't actually need to move that much. So I think this is a spot to take statue. And then I will just take 2 armor here. I've reduced my armor by 2, so I need to fix that. I'll take the pearl. It's a very small amount of percent damage. It's only 1%, but again, when it's negative, it's more impactful. And we might get more pearls. All right, this big arms is an incredible gift. We're thrilled to see that. I'll take the acid as well, because I need more max health. And then the pumpkin is great. Shady potion is great, and we'll take ugly tooth also. And then I want to hold still. I also need some more move speed. I'm going to hold still, but obviously still pick up some materials. With statue, we can tap move around like we would with coral or as the soldier. And benefit from the extra attack speed. Just sort of wandered into that attack there, but we got the dodge. With our like 4% dodge or whatever we have. Tap moving around a little bit. I'm going to go pick up some of these materials. We haven't found a baby gecko or anything like that. Thift's relic would also be really nice, especially because we have the Ricochet, so we're leaving a lot of materials on the ground. But I would say that with that big arms and getting a bunch of flat damage, which is heavily multiplied because we're using laser guns, we're in great shape now. Recycle that. We'll take more attack speed. Can never go wrong with more attack speed for this character. We'll buy all of this stuff, and then I will re-roll, and we'll buy the laser gun here. And then I will combine and buy another laser gun, and we'll roll. Baby gecko I'll take. Broken mouth and propeller hat we'll take as well. I could lock and ban the compass. Actually, I probably just need to buy the compass, because I have -6 move speed. Alright, holding still at the start of this wave to clear the lampreys, and then we'll try to clear the elite by holding still as well. And we were able to do that, just had to dodge its attacks a couple times. And our damage is high enough now that we were able to get that with no problem. Also, you can see that the enhanced eggs that are the real challenge, wave 18, are not a challenge because we have Ricochet. And so it's clearing them immediately without us having to do any work. Ricochet is always a fun item, but it's not always a good item, but this is one of the best Ricochets I've ever seen. It's working out so well for this run. Okay, we'll happily take Sif's Relic even this late. I'll take the extra stomach as well. This should be 8 health next wave, hopefully, and then we'll take some lifesteal. Here, I'm just going to pick up 2 armor just to make sure I don't get popped, and then I'm going to buy all this stuff and roll. I'll take a Blood Leech. We'll buy a pencil, because again, a level 1 item we don't have. We'll take a weird food, and we'll take a jelly, because it's also a level 1 item we don't have. We're up to -5% damage, which is, of course, low for most characters, but pretty good for the Renegade. Hitting for pretty substantial amounts every attack as well. tapping around to make better use of the statue. Not that it's really necessary. And I guess I have the loot worm, so I don't even really need to move, because I'm moving basically to look for trees. But with Ricochet, we're going to kill any high priority targets that are off the map from us. And with the loot worm, that'll kill trees for us. So I don't really need to move at all this wave. We'll take the turret. That's 2 damage. And then I'm going to roll for range damage. I could take 9 crit chance as well, but I really want more ranged damage. And I'll roll here. +4 is amazing. I do think I have the pumpkin now. I want the sharp bullet. It gets me to 0% damage, which is great. I don't need the baby gecko anymore, but I'll take the glasses here, and then I will roll. Don't really need these, but small magazine is one of the items I've called out as being really powerful. I'll upgrade my laser guns, and the regen potion I could have taken, but it doesn't do that much when you have very low regeneration. I'm not going to buy Cute Monkey. It normally would be very good for us, of course, but with laser guns, we don't want it. I would buy the hourglass here for sure if I could afford it. I could sell an item, but I'd have to sell a red gun, and then we still wouldn't even be able to afford it. That would be 264. So I could sell 2 weapons to buy the hourglass. I don't think we're going to do that, unfortunately. So I'm going to roll here just looking for more items. And I'll give up an HP. I'll buy the claw tree. It just gives me a little more damage. And then we can go to wave 20. I do have 1 unspent ban, which obviously we should have used at some point, but we just never got a good opportunity to use it. Took 2 hits there, but I do have the red crate to heal back up. And then we just spray it down with lasers, and that is the Renegade with the laser gun. All right, so that was a really fun one. We did get a win here. Not the worst weapon we could have rolled, but it was a pretty tough weapon in the early game. Laser gun, I do think, is pretty strong on Nightmare mode, because Nightmare is all about getting out of the early game, and just buying a lot of attack speed with laser gun should get you there on winning the late game, if you get out of the early game intact. And so I do think that this is a weapon that actually is better than it is on lower difficulties on Nightmare relative to the other weapons, because high range, high damage, that's all you care about on this difficulty level. Looking at our items, we saved 856 on the coupons, made 390 on our bag, so great items there. And the starfish gave us a ton of money. Early starfish was awesome, even though it's a little dangerous, of course. Mirroring the poisonous tonic worked out great. That was, I think, one of the more important decisions in the run, was making sure that we did that. And then 200 materials from Loot Worm, a little on the low side, but I was picking up a lot of them myself. The Ricochet was excellent. Very happy that I bought that as well. We talked about that throughout the run. And the statue was pretty good. The pearl wasn't great, but it was fine. We did get 9 health from the extra stomach here. And then other than that, we mostly just bought any level 1 items that we didn't have copies of. All right, my friends, hope that you've enjoyed that run. And of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.